Yes, here we go.
Okay.
Welcome back to another edition of the Epic Podcast, where we're talking about extraordinary practices and innovative concepts. And today I've got my girl, Michelle Ozymy here.
Hi.
Good morning. We're talking about blowouts. We're talking about working it hard. So we're just, doing what we got to do. So my friend Michelle lived in Midlothian, but she no longer lives in Midlothian. So we're going to run it down because I think today it's a really good episode. So if you're thinking or if you're having troubles trying to figure out how to get to the next step, this is going to be the episode for you. We talk to lenders, we talk to real estate agents, we talk to anybody in the industry that's kind of struggling because it's hard right now. And I feel that if you're a newer agent and you just don't know where to go and maybe your broker's not helping, this is going to be an episode you're going to want to keep forever and keep replaying. But a little bit of background on Michelle, and if I miss some of this, then Michelle's just going to tell herself because she's amazing. So 18 years as a leader in the industry. She has been top rated here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. She owns Nom and Key with her husband, Alan. She's got a master's degree from DBU, which their cheer just won. So congrats to DBU cheer. She's a wife, a mom of 3, a hiker. We were just talking about that blowout, and she's definitely a runner. But the big thing is she understands the work-life balance. She understands the why behind this. And we also understand the entrepreneur that comes with females. And it's hard. But here's the cool thing. Michelle is committed to serving her entrepreneurship through personal growth. So now Michelle has gotten outside of the box. We now have a coaching program that's going to help discover the purpose, the significance, the reigniting your passion, and just your desire for life. Because I do feel that if we don't know our why and don't know our passion, then we don't know how to serve others in real estate, lending, title, anything in the industry. So if you need something on the coaching side, she is absolutely open to a discovery call. But before we get into it, good morning. Wow, I just feel like, I'm reinvigorated.
Woo!
Morning, sister.
Good morning. Oh my goodness. Thanks so much for having me. It's so great to be here.
Did I miss anything? Because my
Girl,
gosh.
You made me sound so fancy. Wow. That was fun. That was fun.
So what did we miss, Michelle? Because you are an all-around epic person, and that's why we wanted to have you on here, because we are.
Well, you're making me blush.
And I've been trying to get Michelle on this for a while, so I'm glad it finally worked out. But tell me a little bit about where you started and your tenacity and your drive behind real estate.
Oh my gosh, where I started. 18 years ago, I started. We had our first child. Yeah, we had the one.
Oh, the one.
The one. She's 23 now.
Yes.
And I got started in real estate after being in corporate, and I was like, I can't.
Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun.
dun, dun. Yes. And I was like, I can't keep doing this. I was not stay-at-home mom material, not my thing. But I wanted to be able to pick my kids up. I think the last straw was luckily we had an in-home provider, and I picked her up at like 7:30 at night, 3 nights in a row.
I struggled with that too, sister.
And it just sucked. Like, it was like, I don't want to be stay-at-home mom, like playing games all day and that sort of thing, but good grief.
No, say it, moms. We know you don't play games, but come on, let's be real.
I just did. That wasn't for me. Like, I didn't want to be in charge of their education or anything like that, but for sure I wanted to spend some time with them. Yeah. So that's kind of when the light bulb went off. I was like, I need to do something where I can work my own schedule. Yeah. And love the business of real estate. Mm-hmm. I was very lucky that I went into it with not this idea that I'm going to get to tour pretty houses all day.
Yes. That's huge.
That's huge. That's huge.
So big.
So I read Think and Grow Rich.
Oh, good book.
Yes. And then Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Yeah. So I jumped in, and we struggled. We were young. We struggled. Yeah. I think we had Lucas by then. So here we are. We've got 2 kids making no money. Mm-hmm. And I believe my first sale was a foreclosure double wide.
Oh, gosh.
Beautiful.
Is she ringing some bells right now with high interest rates?
Yeah. That we then flipped, and I took a discounted commission on.
Oh gosh.
And I was like, this isn't going to cut it either. Uh-huh. So that's when I really started. I had to make some choices. Like, am I going to make a go of this and really run this like a business, or am I going to be flittering around the rest of my life? Right. And so I jumped in and started learning the real business side of things. Yeah. And grew from there.
Yeah. And that brings me to a good point of real estate is a business.
Yes.
It's a full on 100% all day long business. Yes, you get a 1099 from your brokerage, but on the business side, what skills do you think a newer agents need to know to build a business?
First, they need tenacity.
Yeah.
Yes, you do have the freedom to do whatever you want, but you also have the freedom to not get paid.
Yeah,
if
that's true.
You have to do the work.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
And you have to be willing to make the calls.
Yeah.
So tenacity is huge. Innovation is huge.
Yep.
And systems and processes and organization.
And
all
that's
of those
exactly
things.
what we're talking about today is best practices on lead gen and how we can navigate and put it into your business.
Absolutely.
So what are the most effective lead gen techniques you have seen and you've been able to implement over the last 18 years?
And it varies from season to season.
Oh, yes.
You know, it really does.
Yes.
Right now I'm seeing a return of the expireds.
Yeah.
Get after those expireds and have a solid program to go after them.
Yeah.
Because it's not one and done.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people don't understand with real estate is it's always the long game.
Yes. It's not the sprint.
No.
It is definitely a marathon.
There's nothing you're going to
How do you like that in your
I know,
in your
I
running
like that.
term?
Good job.
I don't know how to work this thing. But there you go.
It's pretty.
One day.
Like the lights.
One day when you come back, I'll be able to do it.
I love it. No, it is definitely it's a marathon.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a call from someone today that is ready to buy $1 million house and pay cash.
Yeah.
If you do, it's probably a scam. So be very, very careful.
Yeah. And I'm sorry for the stuff in the background. We got some buzzing going on. We're fixing the doors here at Verity Mortgage and Undisclosed Location.
This is real talk. This is real talk in the real world.
Yeah, these are not scripted. So when you hear some vibration going on, that's some doors being implemented here. So, but it is tenacity is hard, and when we feel that it's hard, how does the tenacity push you forward?
Just keep going. Every no brings you closer to a yes.
Yes.
Every disappointment brings you closer to some sort of victory.
Yeah.
And it is frustrating. And I think sometimes when we're dealing with the general public forgets that there's a real person behind that email.
Yeah.
I got in fact, I got a response to an expired last night at 2 a.m. I was up walking the dog. Stupidly, I checked my email and an expired had emailed me back that I was an idiot.
Oh.
Ouch. Okay, we're going to keep going.
Yeah.
Keep rolling.
You are not my friend. I don't care.
Yeah.
Boom.
It's okay.
Peace be gone.
Take them off the list. That gives me time to call more people who might be interested in what I can do to serve them.
Because you can serve the others.
You do. And you will. And you'll find your people. And that's another piece with tenacity. Everyone, niche is such a buzzword right now.
Yeah. And brand.
Yes,
niche and brand.
Yes. But you will find your niche. You will find your people. And as your business grows, there's going to be some trial and error. Yeah. But once you find your people that want to work with you and are the right fit, then you're loving it and it's fun and people aren't mean to you and they're not being ugly and they love to hear from you.
Yeah.
And does that happen overnight? No, it takes time.
Yeah. But maybe 18 years. No, I'm just kidding.
Not 18 years, thankfully.
18 years. She's just been able to weather the storm. And that's why we wanted to bring her on there because we're in this storm, but I feel like we're coming out of the middle storm.
I do.
And
I agree.
Real estate is an ebbs and flows. It's not always luxurious. And if you weren't in the business pre-2020, these are the things Michelle's diving into right now. Like we got to go back and pick up the phone call. So how important is it to create a target lead gen strategy to get it implemented?
It's huge.
Yeah.
One, because it gives you direction.
Yeah.
And it gives you, again, because you're self-employed and you can do whatever you want when you get up in the morning. If you don't have a bullseye plan, then you're going to get up and do nothing.
Yeah.
And you're going to clean the kitchen and you're going to go for a run and you're going to do all these other things that are busy work that may even feel like you've done something at the end of the day. But if you don't have a direct plan and you haven't time blocked your lead generating,
there's that word.
Time block.
There's that word I love.
Huge. My favorite thing. My favorite thing that I hate, but it's huge. You have to do it and you have to have a strategy for that time blocking and what you're going to do to reach out to your people.
Yeah, for sure.
And you've got to have accountability. So yeah.
And if you need accountability, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Like call Michelle, call me. We'll put you on a 12-week program to get you accountable. So is there a program you use to get your time blocking done? Or is it the standard coded, Outlook color. I think agents overthink
Yes.
how we do this. So to bring it down
because
to
that makes us feel busy. You spend
it's true research. We got to research how to time block, y'all. Just click it on your calendar.
You spend 4 hours time blocking and you're like, hey, I have accomplished something today.
I have time blocked on my Google Calendar. Y'all just do it. Like and get Calendly. Like everybody knows that I don't use Calendly. I use a Quiddy scheduler. For me, that works. But find calendars that work. Gmail, Outlook. I don't care if you go to Yahoo, Hotmail.
Piece of paper.
A piece of paper. A book. It doesn't matter.
Whatever you will use and follow through with. So,
and that's huge right there. So I'm going to interject real quick because it's matter what works for you. So for me, yes, y'all, I have a book. I have my calendar. I have my online calendar and my phone that sends me notifications.
Yep.
But that's my brain. And that's even along with contracts. I still print my contracts and highlight them.
Same.
Because I love the paper. Yes, I'm a 1980s baby, but I love that paper.
Yes.
But I am so dialed in on technology. I have to have both.
Yeah.
I got to see it, touch it, feel it.
Yeah.
But that's my brain. My brain works different than everybody else's. And if it's just a Gmail, just get started on Gmail. Is what she said.
Yeah, just do it.
So,
whatever you will do it.
How do you balance old leads, current leads, and future leads?
I have a system set up.
Oh, she said system again there.
Yes, I love a good system.
So you have a system for a system.
I do. Okay. I'm wife, mom, 3 kids, 3 dogs, coaching business, love to run.
Right.
You got to calendar that stuff.
Yeah.
People find that to be really restrictive. Like you look at these free spirits and they're like, oh my gosh, that sounds terrible. Yeah. Y'all, I'm a free spirit.
Right.
But having a system and a calendar for everything, that's what lets me be a free spirit.
Right.
Because I look at my calendar and I'm like, oh, I'm done for the day.
Right.
What are we going to do?
Boom. What's next? I'm going to go to the park because it's 80 degrees outside.
So that's how I get away with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So old Jen. So let's kind of circumvent that.
Yeah.
Is how do we nurture old versus new versus prospects? Because that's hard because people are like, I got so many leads to come in. I don't know how to take care of my old, do my new, and do my future.
Yeah. So weekly, everyone hears from me.
Okay.
If it's a prospect or a new lead, they're hearing from me frequently, either by text, email, phone call.
Right.
Then they're getting put into a drip system.
There you go.
And then we're monitoring that drip system to see what gets opened.
Yeah.
And if it gets opened, then they get another text message.
Okay.
And I'm checking on that on a weekly basis. And then good old fashioned pen and paper. If they're a real, what I call pipeline prospect, like they are getting ready to do something, I carry that with me. And whenever I have free time, I'm reaching out to those guys to see where they are, to make sure they don't get forgotten.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we do the old fashioned notes. We do the parties, all the things. Yeah. And they're huge.
And you're frogging them, I guess, is you're frogging every time that you're calling them.
Yeah.
And that's what it should be. Someone today was like, I just wish social media would kind of shut down so we can get back to relationships. And I was like, well, you're letting social media run your day.
Social media is a tool.
It's a tool that you should utilize.
Yes.
Only to a certain percentage because our brains are here to squirrel and can stay on there for 4 or 5, 6 hours. But if you time block 1 hour a day for social media, you're prospecting, you're adding it, you're getting your community, you're adding new people to your community, to the know, like, and trust, but then you're educating.
Yeah.
But then how do you manage all of that where it's not, because a couple of my classes were like, Glenn, it's just overwhelming. I can't manage my systems for the past, present, and future.
I have an assistant and she keeps me in line.
There you go.
She's my accountability.
Yeah.
And she also makes sure things don't slip through the cracks.
Yeah.
She helps a lot with my social media posting.
Good.
So something that we do, if you're going to post, you've got to engage and you also have to pay attention to who's engaging.
Yeah.
So she goes back through our social media and looks at who's commenting, who's opening the stories that are real estate related over and over and over again. And she brings it to my attention and says, hey, you need to call Steve. He keeps looking at the story about interest rates. Let's give him a call.
Yeah.
So it's just making it intentional other than me just scrolling and posting fun pictures of my adorable dogs that I did post yesterday for National Puppy Day. But y'all, those dogs don't look like that right now. Okay.
But it's social media. The whole
Yes.
thing behind social media, not to get on a tangent, is to be social. Like,
excuse me.
People forget about that and they just post and ghost. And now the algorithms know if you're posting and ghosting. Now, YouTube is one thing, TikTok is one thing, but Instagram and Facebook, like, you have to be social.
Yes.
You have to have the conversations.
You have to interact, because if you don't, you're going to lose people and someone else is going to interact.
Yeah, they will. And they're going to take that. So how can a business measure success for the lead gen efforts? And what are some of the key metrics that you have implemented?
We look at response.
Okay.
We look at listings.
Yeah.
We look at buyers.
Yeah.
And we look at closed volume.
Yeah.
Like, how effective is what we're doing? Where did it come from?
Yeah.
And what do we need to concentrate more on?
Yeah.
So,
and that goes back to having a strategy, because every person you meet should be categorized in something: name, phone number, and email address, right?
yes.
So Google Doc, like, that works great. Google Sheets. So again, I feel that agents overthink it. They're like, oh, I have to have this grandiose CRM that's going to call, text, email, video. When you started 18 years ago, how did you get started on lead gen? Like, name, phone number, and email address, and probably a piece of paper.
Yeah, we
18
used
years
paper
ago, because technology wasn't there.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what we did. And really nothing's changed, because unless you are a super high tech person and you love all the tech, you can buy the CRMs, but are you going to use them?
Right.
If you're not going to use it, we do have KB Core, and we utilize that.
Which is amazing, y'all.
It's amazing.
Yes.
Works really great for our CRM system.
It's so good.
Perfect for the drip campaign.
Yeah.
But you can't just set it and forget it. You have to go back in and see who's engaging.
Yeah.
And you have to follow up with them, because after a while, they know when it's the automated email.
100%.
So that's another piece in my system, is depending on if you're a buyer, a seller, a prospect, a lead, wherever you're categorized, I look at those on a weekly basis and see who in the lead category is actually opening emails.
Yeah.
And I respond back to them.
Good.
Personally, so that it's not just, okay, this is the automated. And then they get a note card.
Yeah.
So it's engaging. And again, it's the long game, because you may send 12 cards and 50 emails before anyone reaches back out to you.
Yeah.
So you can't lose. That's one reason it's good to have a team or an assistant, because then you've got someone spurring you on.
Right.
Because it can get lonely.
For sure. Feel like you're on your own island.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you're not getting those responses. But if you keep doing the work, it'll all come at once.
Yeah.
So
what's one topic piece that we haven't kind of hit on for a best practice for lead gen?
Oh gosh.
Before we go into your coaching program, because we're about to hit that one.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think the biggest one that I have seen that we've kind of picked up on, because there's so many avenues, there's so many things you can do. First of all, when you're setting your business plan for the beginning of the year.
Oh, wait, you set a business plan?
I did.
Ladies and gentlemen, there it is. Yes, people are like, oh, I don't want to do a business plan because it's just a plan and I don't hit it. Well, that's a goal. And if we don't know our goal, how do we know what to achieve it?
And that's where determining what your lead generation tactics come in. And you decide for the year, this is what I'm going to do for the year. Because you can throw yourself at all the different things. And, the shiny object syndrome.
Yes, I did a video on that.
I
did a video on that the other day, but it was for clients. But yes.
So we look at, this is what our tactics are going to be for the year, and this is what we're going to stick to.
Yeah.
So where I find a lot of success right now is two different things. One is the expireds. We're starting to see that pick up, and that's very effective. And then two is newsletters.
Yes.
Sending out.
Yes. Direct mail going back. Email or direct mail newsletters.
Both.
Yes.
We do both. And you're like, oh my gosh, that sounds like so much work. It's not.
It's not, y'all.
It's not, because all you do is you repurpose content
from
social media, the things you've done through the week.
But see, that takes time.
It does, but once you have a system and a template,
which Canva will build those now, or the one that we were talking about earlier. And if you're not on Chat GPT or Jasper, I heard a new one, which is Boo.
So good.
Which is Boo.
Oh, I haven't heard of Boo. That's just fun to say.
It's kind of like the other two. You need to dial into that, because that is a tool and a resource that will help you. The way I look at that is I can write a 12-page home buyer guide, Facebook ad, Instagram ads, and it will spit it out in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That it would take me 4 or 6 hours, but that gives me 4 to 6 hours to prospect, to connect, to go to events, to talk to my chamber, to talk to my past clients. And this is, I think, the vision Michelle and I are trying to talk about, that we need to stop overthinking real
Absolutely.
estate and get back to, and I know it's weird, get back to the basis of what a real estate agent is about. Relationships. Like they really need to take, like, it's a realtor. The first one is relationships. Like I kind of coincide those two because without relationships, you will never grow and you will stop.
You can have all the fun tools and do all the fun things, but if people don't find you engaging, they're not going to want to work those tools with you.
Yeah.
They're not going to want to get in a car with you or invite you to their house.
Right.
So, and that's, if you're not getting those appointments, you're dead in the water.
Right. If you get, and I tell people, like, the agents that we connect with, if I can't have them over for a Saturday conversation or a glass of wine or just to go sit and have a coffee, we're not a good fit, because that's just where it is. And the more that we shrink as a society and as a community in this real estate, the more we have to lean in and lean on. And that brings me to leaning in and leaning on a coach.
Yay.
Yeah. So tell me about your coaching program. And I have recently invested in a coach, and it's been a life changer.
It's huge.
And tell me about your coaching program.
I had a coach for most of my real estate career.
Yeah.
And I still have a coach.
Yeah.
I just think as human beings, we need coaching.
Yeah.
First, personally and in business.
Because it's stressful out here.
It's stressful. It's stressful. And being an entrepreneur is just different.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different set of rules. It's a different way of doing things.
Yeah.
So I have my coaching program. It's a 90-day program that helps entrepreneurs and realtors learn how to manage their business, grow their business, and still live a life that they love.
That's amazing.
Because that's hard.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard. How many times have you been on vacation and you're like on a roller coaster and a lead calls and you're like, how am I going to do this?
Right.
I remember when my kids were young trying to take a call on a roller coaster in Branson, Missouri.
Right.
It did not work.
I was in Orlando and I was like, dude, I'm literally getting on this. And they're like, we need a pre-approval. I'm like, good, mobile app. Here we go. Like, we got it. Set and forget
I wrote a contract in a bus on a mission trip in Cuba.
Yeah. Y'all, it's
on my
these
cell
are
phone.
life stories.
Yes.
Yes. But having a coach is the accountability piece that's missing in real estate.
And teaches you how to work your business so that you're not doing those things.
Yes.
So those things, it sounds really fun and impressive, but what it did is it took me out of the moment of where I was and the service that I wanted to do for that community.
Right.
And I didn't get the full fulfillment of that trip.
Yeah, because it kind of makes you step backwards and be like, oh, hold on. It's like when I was in Disney, I'm like, hold on, I'm about to go. My kid's never been there. My little one, my big one has. And I'm like, she's about to get her own very first roller coaster. I'm like, hold on. And I was like, nope, shut it down. So I sent a text message. I said, here's my pre-approval. Here's my schedule to get on it. If it's very important, here's this. And if it's not, I'll call you tomorrow. Yeah. And it's the system in place to be able, it's not that I don't want the business, but if you let the client manage you,
right.
It's like a 2:00 email.
Yeah.
If you let a client manage your day, guess what? If you answer that 2:00 email,
you've set yourself up.
You've set yourself up, because guess what? They're going to call you at 2:00 and text you. And I'll be danged if I'm texting back at 2:00. I like my sleep.
But it's learning how to manage all of that as an entrepreneur, because it's not realistic for the smaller business to work 9 to 5.
Right.
Like, we know that.
Right.
Like, anyone who promises you that is just telling you lies.
Right. Right.
But it is learning how to manage it so you can still have the life and learn how to time block and learn what takes priority, where to prioritize, and how. And I find that especially with women, that's so huge, because we get pulled in so many directions and we want to do so many different things. Yeah. And we're constantly feeling like we're disappointing someone.
Yeah.
So true. This program helps you integrate your life, your business, your relationships in a realistic way so that you can move forward and build and be happy and serve people. Yeah. And I think that's what everybody wants.
That's amazing. So what made you get into this coaching?
Being in the same boat myself. Yeah. Just realizing that I was pulled in so many different directions and it was just hard. I was missing things. I was forgetting things and I wasn't able, at the end of the day, I just wasn't happy. Yeah. And so I hired a coach and we kind of revamped our lifestyle and how we did things. And it made a huge difference in our family and our family dynamic and how we communicate and how we run our business. Right. So, yeah. And I enjoyed it. I love working with people. Yeah. I love agents. I love my community. Yeah. So if I can do this for other women, I would love to.
And it's pouring back, and it's it is, again, with the ever shrinking environment of real estate as a whole, we need to lean in on our
Absolutely.
people coaching. I mean, again, y'all, it doesn't matter. Like, we were talking to probably 2 of y'all. Let's be honest. So maybe 4 this week.
Hi guys.
But it is, if we can influence just that one person to take that leap and to get a coaching, I'm telling you, it changes the outlook and the trajectory and how you wake up.
Absolutely.
Because of how you wake up, those negative no's out there, it takes 12 no's to get to the first yes now,
Right.
finally. And
Right.
it used to be 8, and now it's like 12 because society has changed so much. So how does one get involved in your coaching program?
They can reach out to me at michelleozymy.com.
There you go.
Or they can hit me up on Instagram.
She is on Insta. We talk over there on Insta.
I know. I love Instagram. I keep up with my kids on Instagram.
Hey, you know what? There
Make
it
sure
is.
they're
But
behaving.
you know what? They're buying houses though. Like 23, 24,
Yes.
they're buying homes.
I know.
I had a 19-year-old be like, can I buy a home? I'm like, yeah. Why
Let's
can
do
you
it.
not?
Why
Like,
not?
you've been in school. You can do it. You've got great credit. You've got money because he's been working for 4 years. Like, it doesn't matter, y'all. He wants to buy a home because he wants to do something his family's never done.
And long term, it's the best investment out there.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah. And
So-
rent's going up
Up,
5,000%.
Crazy.
Oh my
Crazy.
gosh.
Yeah. So yeah, Michelle _
There you go.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I absolutely love that. Well, Michelle, again, is a steward of the industry. She is an entrepreneur herself. So if you are looking and struggling today, reach out to Michelle. Have a conversation. Reach out to me. If you're scared to reach out to Michelle, reach out to me and we'll connect you with Michelle. I know she does a monthly luncheon.
Yes.
That's actually
Yes.
tomorrow. This won't air for a while, but is it a certain Thursday of every month?
It is the second Thursday of every month.
There you go.
And it's fantastic. You can always reach out to me. It's always at noon.
There you
Second
go.
Thursday. Restaurant changes because I get bored. So
As you should.
yes. So we love to have fun. And it's really just a place for agents and people in the industry. So not just realtors
There you go.
to have a good time
Yep.
and connect and communicate. So
And I love that. And
Yeah.
Michelle, like I said, you are a steward. You're amazing in everything you're doing. You're coaching, your platform. You're 18 years in this industry. We need more Michelles in this industry.
You're so
And
sweet.
I am so honored to finally have you on this podcast and looking forward to hopefully making one of your Thursday meetings.
I hope so.
I always have classes before.